Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Garbage. My name's Eric. I host the show. Every week I try and come to you about something that's going on in the video game world or the movie world, entertainment world, whatever's going on. If you like that, you can subscribe to this channel, you can like the video, you can share it with your friends if you want. That would be really awesome. I want to go into about something that just happened over the weekend, which was the Hitman beta. I've been a big fan of the Hitman franchise. I started playing him since Silent Assassin. Then, played Contracts, Blood Money, Absolution, and I've loved every single one of them. Never got around to playing the first one. I hear it's not very good, but, so it could be good. It could be. I don't know. Going into this, I had a lot of emotions. I said on our not weekly, but our podcast that is on this channel that we don't post on this channel, but you can find on SoundCloud, 3 Beers In, kind of going through a whole change up right now. So, see how that works. But on our video game podcast where I talked about I was not a happy camper with the fact that they were taking this and putting it out into like this weird not paid DLC, but because all DLC would technically be paid for. They were doing this weird thing where they're splitting it up into part, and it's all like episodic. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know why. I love television. You would think I would find a way to figure out like, oh yeah, episodes, not episodes. That's weird. But I had said on the show I was not a fan of it, and I contemplated whether or not I was even going to support that. After a long, thought process with myself, I came to the conclusion that I at least want to play the beta and see how I feel about it. And I have very, very mixed feelings about this game so far. My main gripe with it is that it feels very shallow. Going through and playing it, one of my favorite missions in all of Hitman is in Blood Money, is the suburban level where you have to kill someone that's in the witness protection program that's having a party, and that's the whole point. However you want to do it is you're totally up to you. It's your whichever path you want to take, and there's so many different options. And you poison the FBI agents. You can just plant a bug on the guy's phone. Call him, he answers the phone, and then he blows up. It's real funny. You can make his wife explode. All these different things, and no one's telling you how to do any of that. You just have to kind of figure that out on your own. And that's not the case in this game. And I don't know if it's just because these are the training missions. My hope is that in the full game, you can discover these things, and maybe they're kind of laid out for you, but it's not spelled out to the point where you can literally, in this demo, you can literally just like overhear a conversation with these guards. And one of the missions you have to kill this guy Jasper White. You'll hear these like 2 guards or whatever, and they're talking about how he's going to escape out of a jet. And so you can track that, by hitting the track pad or whatever on your PlayStation 4 controller, and it brings up your journal and it shows it that I can go over here and I can find this, and it literally takes you through step by step by step by step, and to where you just it spells out the entire, it gives you objectives, which is something that Hitman has not really done before in the past. Even Absolution, which was very, very linear, and was a game that I actually quite enjoyed. A lot of people seem to be down on it. I was a fan of it. It was very linear, but it did this thing where the gameplay was so refined and so tightened up. I loved it. Every Hitman game has always felt a little off, a little wonky, but it's kind of that part of the charm. It feels like such a step back gameplay wise. It does not feel tight at all. It feels as if I'm not controlling the character. It feels as though I am a camera that is following behind the person, the character, Agent 47, and I'm just watching him do these sort of things. Most games that are third person, if you go behind cover, you feel the person, they go behind it, and they put themselves along the wall, and it's almost like you feel that happening. I didn't feel that. When this happened, you'd go up behind a wall, and it's like you're just watching him do it. And that's something that I really don't like, and I hope that in the full version that they fix that, or whatever. Give it a little bit more weight to it. And what's interesting about that is I hope they put a little bit more weight to it. It feels stiff and weighty in this same way too, where there's been a lot of in the time that Absolution has come out, there's been games like Dishonored, although I think Dishonored came out before that, but whatever. There was Splinter Cell Blacklist, which I believe came out afterwards. And, there's been a few stealth action games like this that feel, and I don't count Thief because, well, Thief was alright, but, I think it's widely considered to be just not a very good game. It was fine. It did what it needed to do. Actually, it didn't. It seemed like it sold not good. Regardless, I digress. There's been plenty of stealth action games that have, nailed the gameplay and the mechanics and how everything works. The biggest one that I can think of that just came out recently was Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now, full disclosure, I've never been a big Metal Gear fan. I appreciate the series. I have a lot of respect for it. I love Hideo Kojima because I think he's a genius and everything he does. It's just never clicked with me. That being said, when I played Phantom Pain, playing it for purely mechanical gameplay, I thought, it plays so well, and that's my opinion. You might have thought that it played like a hot steaming pile of garbage, but I was like, I quite like this garbage truck, this garbage pile of tires and fire and whatnot. But it's weird to go from playing something like that felt so good, and even a little bit before that, Dishonored got re-released, and I was like, man, this game feels so good. It's strange to go from that, and then Metal Gear, to this, where it just feels very shallow. Like, running around the world, and that is the one thing I can give that's a really big positive, is that IO Interactive, I believe that's the developer of it, they did an awesome job of making it feel like you're in an actual living, breathing world, even though it's in a training area. One of the first missions that you have is you go into a boat party. I've never been to a boat party, but I assume this is what most boat parties look like. And normally when you have a game that has all these NPCs or whatever, it seems like they repeat characters, models or whatever. They'll take the same model, maybe put a little bit of different clothes on them, and boom, you got a party. I was trying to pick out and actually see, okay, are these the same models? Are these different models? I was legitimately really impressed with the fact that I couldn't tell anyone apart. I could tell everyone apart. The exact opposite of what I just said. I don't know why I said that. But I was like, wow, that's really impressive to me. The fact that they actually made it feel like I'm, there's all these people and I have one target to kill. That was even something that Absolution kind of toyed around with, but character models repeat. And I think I read somewhere where the developer said they can fit 300 to 500 completely different models on the screen, which, sorry, I almost flipped my whole mic off. This whole show would have been done before it even began. But that is something that is really impressive. When you go through and you have one target that you have to kill, it doesn't feel like it's the one target, but there's 50 other guys that look like him. It is the one target, you know who he is. And that's something that I was like, okay, this is good. I applaud you for that. And obviously them getting back to a more sandboxy kind of open, not open world, but big open level is good. That is Hitman. I loved Absolution. I know it was not really a Hitman game. I was open to it though, and I enjoyed it. But this is where Hitman feels most comfortable, where you can go into a big area and there's lots to do, and you have all the options. And kind of like what I said earlier, getting back to it, the problem that I had is that it not only doesn't really feel like enough, it just feels so shallow. Most of the time beta comes around and I am pretty excited and I want to play it. I don't play too much of it because I'm more of just I'm going to experience it. I want to get in, have some fun, and see how I like it mechanically and get out. This was the first time I played a beta in a long time where I played it once or twice and I was like, I'm okay, that was fine. I'll go back to playing Dying Light the following, which is another upcoming video that you can keep an eye for. But it just was very it felt shallow, which pains me to say because Hitman is one of my favorite franchises. I absolutely adore that franchise. I even liked the Timothy Olyphant movie. I left a big silence there so that you could, kind of process that in your mind. I liked that garbage movie. And you know why I liked it? Because Timothy Olyphant is a fantastic actor. He should play Han Solo. I'm just saying. I saw these people, they're like, oh, Dave Franco should play him. No. I love you, Dave. But you're not Han Solo. Sorry. You're more of like a Salacious Crumb. And I mean that in the nicest way. But seriously, imagine Dave Franco as Salacious Crumb. You know, Jabba's little rat guy going, you're picturing it right now, and you're realizing that's a good idea. But overall, I'm concerned for the game. I don't understand why it is that they had to do this whole episodic release. I would have much rather them just be like, game is done when it's done, and then you get the full package. Them splitting it up, from what I read, the way that they want to do it is that they spend all this time working on one, big environment, and that way it looks cool. And that's cool for them. I hope that ends up working out. So far right now, kind of lukewarm on it, and I am hopeful that they can, when the full game comes out, that I can be like, oh my god, this is awesome. And that was my head exploding. But if you like this video, like I said at the beginning of the video, please like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. That kind of helps us out. I'm going to try and be a little bit more regular about these kind of videos, because it's, first, it's I'm not used to doing on camera sort of stuff. I host a podcast where I kind of just talk about whatever. We had a topic a couple weeks ago that was, well, more than a couple weeks ago, more like a couple months ago. We're not super regular, I'm sorry. But it was, what would you do if you're on an island? You could only bring one item. You were naked. Clothing could be that one item, meaning you're just butt naked, running around with like a multi-tool or whatever. But if you would like to hear the podcast, you can find us on SoundCloud at 3beersin. Follow me on Twitter at EricMyers93. You can follow this channel on Twitter at 3_beersin. And I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys next time.